Welcome to TV. My name is Gloria Ugoke. We're live at the streets of Nnewi today to get people's opinion on Nigeria's Democracy Day. Let's get into it.
Wow. Do you call it democracy? I think Nigeria as a country has achieved the version of democracy by the late Fela Anikulapo Kuti. That's demonstration of grace and not democracy. Why do I say so? To be firm, to be candid, to be serious. The reflection of democracy has to be good government. And when we talk about good government, it has to be enshrined in the constitution that the masses need to experience it. So the reverse is the case in Nigeria. There is lack of equity, transparency, which is meant to be achieved in a good and in a proper democratic setting. It's all lacking in Nigeria. It's a pity and it's quite ironic that Nigerians just witnessed an election that has been adjudged to be filled with a whole lot of irregularities, series of violence. So do you call that a democracy? Even come tomorrow, people are having mixed feelings about celebrating the so-called democracy day in Nigeria. A lot of people are like, are we celebrating democracy where we've been robbed of our mandates, where we exercise our franchise? At the end of the day, our results has been marred with a lot of irregularities and falsehood. So by my own assessment, we are still heading to a democratic nation. We are not yet there.
Democracy in Nigeria. Maybe before I start, I'll quickly drive to what democracy is all about. Government of the people, for the people, and by the people. What it entails is that democracy simply means a government owned by the people. But looking at since 1999, when we saw the democracy coming back to Nigeria, from Olusegun Obasanjo to Yaradua, Goodluck, we've had maybe one or two presidents who have actually been fair enough to democracy, but we've also seen, I think the last dispensation, the last regime didn't really have what or respect for democracy, which is government of the people, never showed people that they own the government. So I think, yes, as Nigerians, we've come this far. When you talk about democracy, we've tried, we've done better. Looking at the Third Republic and the Fourth Republic, leaders that we've had transition from the military to the civilian government, I would say yes, being in civilian government for more than or close to 20 years and above, I think yes, we're actually trying, but there's still more, a lot more. Looking at tenant clients, like if you're talking about Ghana, South Africa, where people understand that it's the government is all about the people and not the other way around, and not bullying people or trying to stamp maybe authority or policies on people.
Definitely. So at this stage we are as a country, what are those areas you think Nigeria should consider as we look forward to a better democracy in this country?
I think for me, democracy, like you said, some of the places that we need to consider. The last government bastardized democracy. I'll keep saying it. We've not had it this worse in our country, Nigeria. The last dispensation or the last government that just left office, bastard, he made a mockery of democracy. Nobody was following the rule of law. It was a total different thing from what we used to know. Never obey the constitution. Even when court gives orders, those orders are thrown into the trash. So I think we need to respect our constitution. We need to maybe balkanize, break into pieces. So the powers that the government wield. Nigerian government, I think, wield one of the most. We have one of the strongest presidents in the world. very, very strong. The power they wield is just too much. And this power belongs to the people. And the people are being pushed out. What it means is that we no longer practice democracy. We practice something very similar to democracy, but not really democracy.
Okay.
Until we start respecting the rule of law,
Yeah.
we start respecting court orders, understand that the judiciary, legislative, and the executive have a part to play. These three arms of government, you can't talk about democracy without talking about these three arms of government. So if you disrespect any arm of this government, it means that you're disrespecting democracy. We need to understand that there is always the constitution to guide us. If we throw away the constitution, we are just simply like some people will say, and in the animal world, where the strongest devour the
Hopefully,
weakest.
it won't get to that.
I pray so.
There is no democracy in Nigeria because the government are not doing their work. Like now, things are cost in Nigeria. They should have at least increased the workers' salary so that they can be able to meet their daily needs.
Simple way is government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Good.
So I believe is a system where it gives room for everybody
Okay.
to put in together. And then
Interesting. So, do you think Nigeria has achieved democracy?
I think to my own perspective is a work in progress at the moment.
Okay. A work in progress.
A work in progress.
So, in your own opinion, what are those areas that Nigeria should consider in our quest to democracy?
I think they should look towards the new direction.
Okay.
Because when these old people, our fathers, if they pass on,
Yes.
so what they transfer to us, I think that's what we carry the generation along. So I think they should look towards the youth of the generation, pass their knowledge, their inspiration, their scars is very important because most of us are going on the story, forgetting about the scars. Every story has its own scars. So I think they should tell us everything in details so that we won't flop in that own area.
Do you think for democracy in Nigeria, do we really have democracy? Democracy doesn't exist. For me, it doesn't. We should start with our leaders.
Okay.
Our leaders should always listen to the masses and hear from the masses because democracy is for the people. You understand? When you're ruling or you're a leader, you should hear from the people and know the feelings, the heart of the people. So I think that is really what our government needs to do now. So, I mean, that is the government that have left and the government at present should allow the masses and hear the masses.
Democracy, although democracy is a very good government. It's a very good government. If at all, any country that adopts democracy and play it very well, is a very good thing. But corruption have made democracy not to be democracy anymore.
So, do you believe we have democracy in Nigeria?
That's what I'm telling you now. That corruption in Nigeria have made democracy not to be democracy anymore.
Interesting.
Because I think democracy is the best practice in government, but there is too much corruption in Nigeria that made democracy not look like democracy anymore. So, but by God's grace, I think we here in Nigeria will still have hope because one with God is majority. We think that as far as God exists, that democracy that we're expecting, that we need, will soon come. It's a prayers. But for now, we are not seeing democracy based on what is happening in Nigeria.